as you can see, here's a tree that has those other insulators on. These ones are not broke yet, but as the tree grows, the insulator starts to break, so I'm going to change them right now. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll give you a close-up once I get these on there. Using my new magnet mount, that's awesome. So as you can see here, these insulators, like this one, I only have one nail in it. Actually, I did have two nails in it. The other nail's busted out of it, as you can see. And here they start going funky. But now with these new ones here, I may have to turn that, I'm not for sure. But you can see that insulator has some play now. So as the tree grows, nothing else, I can just back them out a little bit. And this one here I put up and down. I really don't think the wire is going to come back out of that hole. I had to really push it in there. So that's what I got going on. Hopefully this lasts longer and is stronger than those other ones. So yeah, ultimately I could just cut the trees down, but I can't do that. So I mean, I probably could piss the neighbor off, but like I say, I don't want to make him mad because I'm hoping someday I can buy that land. So this is the one tree on this line, or this is the line that only has one tree on it that I have to hook the wire to. And then on the very back line, I was wrong. There is, I think, 2 or 3 trees back there. And then the other line over there, there's probably 6, 8 trees maybe. So that's what I got going on there. And the whole thing is, if he were to ever sell me this land, this line and that other line back there are coming down, and they'll end up going around this new property. And then I just fence around the field or whatever. But the biggest thing is, if I were to buy this, I know a guy who's a logger, and I'd have him come and clear back 30-40 feet all the way around the perimeter, and then there would be no trees in the way. So I wouldn't have to monkey around with this type of thing anymore. So yeah, that's what's happening. You can see up in there right now. It'll be an awesome time to get cows up in there. They can start going through there and knocking down that brush or whatever and get some grass seed spread out there, and it could be a hell of a nice pasture in a hurry, but I just gotta wait. So anyways, that's the insulators. Hopefully they work, time will tell. So let me see, I probably should have spun that one up, and I might back them off and turn it right now quick. But yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, it's kind of a cruddy day out today. Yesterday I actually started working on some fence. That fence right there, I'm actually taking back down. I'm going to add that field there. You can see them corner posts. I'm going to fence along there, this side of those trees, and then down to where that poly wire reel is. I'm going to make this field 15 acres again. So the cows won't be in those woods anymore. I have something in the works right now where I might be getting another farm to rent, and it'll have facilities on it for my calves and my steers, so I don't know for sure. The Farming Life had asked me just a little bit ago what my plan was with the shed. I don't know what's going to happen for sure. This other place, if it works out, I'm going to buy that, or not buy it, rent it for now. And I will probably move my calves over there in the spring, and then they will stay there for that summer, and then I'll ship them in the fall. If they're not ready in the fall, I will feed them over there throughout the winter, and it's attached to the other land I rent over there, so I wouldn't have very far to go to haul manure out. So as of right now, I don't know what we're going to do with the shed project. Me and the wife have kind of been talking about it, and she really thinks that I should just extend what I have going on now on the shed. She kind of brought up the idea that maybe instead of building a whole new thing, just extend the eaves on the shed so the snow would fall farther away from the wall so it's easier to clean up. Maybe put something out there so the snow won't fall where the calves walk in and out a lot, so maybe it'd give me a better chance of getting the snowpack cleaned up as the snow slides off the roof. Do something so the snow would go sideways or prevent it from falling off the roof right where the cattle go in and out all the time. And then maybe it'd give me a fighting chance to get that snowpack moved before they pack it all down and turn into ice. But she kind of thought that maybe instead of building a whole new cattle area, maybe we should add another 80 to 100 feet onto the machine shed, and then just build a lean-to on the north and a lean-to on the south. That would give me more room for equipment, and it would give me more shed space for animals to go in and out of when it's raining. The biggest thing is my animals don't usually go inside. The calves do because they ain't got anywhere else to go, but the cows, a lot of time, they come out to the field and they lay out in the field when it's snowing. Half the time when it's raining, they're out here. The only time they really go back towards the shed is when it's really windy, and they don't always stand behind the shed. They just kind of stand out, where the shed is blocking the wind. So I don't really know what we're going to do there for sure right now. We'll see what happens. I'm going to get some prices on what it would take or cost to extend my machine shed another 80-90 feet. 90 feet would be doubling the length of my shed, and I guess I'm going to get a price on that. So I guess we'll see what happens. So I'm not really for sure what's going to happen there. We may just extend what we have and deal with what we have, try and figure out a better rain gutter system than what we have now. Yeah, my goal is though in the future to not have anybody on the steer lot during the summer. So really it's only got to hose them in the wintertime. So rain gutter might not even be an issue. If I were to get this land behind me, this is going to be all cow calf, and if I get that other place to rent, that's going to be all steers, and they're all going to be on pasture. And if for some reason this other thing falls through, eventually when I do hopefully get this land behind me, I'll just do cow, calf, and steers. Although here in this pasture, just I guess I won't have as many. There's the only thing I have against raising steers in the steer lot is you got to haul manure all the time, you got to feed them every day, whatever else. It's so much easier to jump on this, come out here, move a wire, move the cows to a new spot every day so they have fresh grass, they're out on grass, whatever. This gator runs a heck of a lot cheaper than any tractor does, so that's kind of the whole deal with that. And I no longer have a TMR mixer. I used to have one, and I screwed around with mixing TMR for steers and for cows and everything all winter long, and it's just a lot of hassle. I make my round bales to the size that I need for the size of herd I have for feeding, and then I give them X amount of corn silage every day. I give them a round bale every day, and I use one piece of equipment for doing it, so I'm not really set up to have a nice barn like what some of you guys have with drive-through feeding for TMR and all that. I love the way those barns look. I like the idea of them. I just don't want to mess around with all that extra stuff, all the extra expense of the equipment, repairs, and all that stuff. Instead of buying a TMR mix and all that, I'd rather really save pass and try to find that way I have a backup machine for feeding, or if I go over to the cows, I can use a tractor and motor. I could bring a bucket of corn silage in the bucket and a round bale and a spear in the back and a 3-point, one trip. Or even if the skid loader or breakdown, I could always grab the tractor and do feeding. My TMR mixer I had a night, and I was always having issues with chains for it had 3-auger discharge on it. They were always giving me trouble, and it was getting more out, and I just don't want to monkey around with that kind of stuff. It's so much easier just to, bring out a bale and bring out a bucket of silage, and they're done. So that's kind of, hopefully that answers some questions on the shed and why there has been much more talk about it, because don't really know what we're going to do for sure. The wife just thinks we should add on to the shed. So what might happen is we might just build up the one wall, extend the one wall right now where the cows are, and just build it as a wind block. And then that wall, if we do decide to build the shed, would already be there. And then it would just be a matter of putting in one more row of posts, putting on the shed trusses, and then building a lean-to for the cows or whatever. But for right now, I think they're just going to get a wind block, get the calf and the steer area done with cement, and then maybe 3 years, whatever, I don't know what the timeline's going to be then. Get working on the cow area. But that all could change in the future too. There's a lot of things right now that are up in the air and what could happen, and whether it depends on what thing plays out here. A whole lot of things might change, and if I go and build a whole bunch of stuff on the shed I have now, it might be a waste. And I don't want to jinx anything, so I don't want to say what could be happening here in the future. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and if we get closer to this thing coming true, then I will kind of talk about what my plan is for a major farm remodel. So anyways, guys, there's the insulator deal, and you can see my flags on the fence here. I did that for my equip thing that I signed up through NRCS. And I'll tell you what, with what I have invested in time and money into putting those flags on, since I've done it, I haven't changed an insulator on the fence. Before that, I was changing a couple a week from the deer hitting it, and I think it's well worth the time. This is just duct tape that's colored. As you can see behind me, there's orange ones on the property line, yellow ones on the interior fence. In the future here, I've got a buddy of mine who's a contractor is rounding up used vinyl siding for me, and hopefully we can get it to clip right over the fence, and then we'll just spray paint it blaze orange. I want to put something on there that's going to last, so being I have seen the benefit of having it. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. A little bit of talk on the shed project, and You guys can see this magnet's a pretty strong magnet, 65 pound lift. You can see that insulator. I got a couple more to change. So anyways guys, that's a little bit of what's going on. There's the insulators. So please comment, rate, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one, and everybody have a good day.